Show. This is TruthCat Radio, www.truthcatradio.com. It's 6 p.m. It's June 29th, 2023. The title of the show, let's see, what is it? Just out of curiosity. Roughly about show number 474 for me on TruthCat. Anyway, the title of the show is, and trust me, I thought about this. This came to me. I had it in my head. Well, no way I was going to forget this. It was just in my head over and over and over. The title is, The FBI Wants to WACO Me. Now, of course, in the Telegram group, it's the only place that anyone ever saw this. You guys are like, oh, it's not going to happen, or I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him try, or whatever, something of this nature. Blah blah blah. Not a whole lot of depth, but anyway. Well, I'll tell you the little story of why this is. I could have. I thought Waco was a good word. Of course, Waco is a reference to the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas, that got incinerated by the ATF over some nonsense, trumped-up charges, killing a whole bunch of women and children in the process. A gross miscarriage of justice. This was during the Clinton administration under, with Janet Reno at the helm. But the thing is that what they didn't tell you about that whole David Koresh business and why it was so important that they incinerate the place was that he was connected to Bill Clinton's Mena, Arkansas drugs and guns smuggling operation being carried out by the CIA. Now, I'm not exactly sure what it was that he was doing. I'm pretty sure he wasn't distributing drugs, but I think what he might have been doing was lining up guns, weapons, whatever of whatever some sort, and he was helping to funnel these weapons to the people who were bringing in the cocaine so they would send them back out in the other direction for the Contras, etc. So I'm pretty sure he was involved in that, and he probably thought he was going to, use that card, and didn't go very well. So, again, now, of course, I'm in a Can't Be Killed club and all that, but again, I'm in a house that's somewhat of a tinderbox, and I've got all my kitty cats and birds and all that fun stuff that I need to take care of. Emily sitting here down at my foot, who's been rather insecure since Henry's gone, so she's a little extra insecure. But I'll tell you what led me up to this is that, I'm pretty carefree and I'm out there challenging these guys, and I don't think about it, and I sleep, all things considered. I mean, obviously, I sleep pretty well, as much as you could expect for somebody in this position. And what happened? Let's see here. Well, the FBI came and visited here a little while back, and, that didn't go very well, of course, because I pretty much chased them away. I didn't chase them away, but they ran away from me as I called after them. When I say called, that's a nice way of saying yelled after them. Spoke very loudly, basically saying, you guys are pedophile enablers and you work for Satan. Anyway, they scurried away, but before they left, either then or sometime shortly thereafter, who knows exactly when, apparently they went around the neighborhood, talked to all the neighbors, and said whatever they'd said. You've got a terrorist person wants to overthrow the government, and how many guns has he got, and has he ever done anything crazy? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you can imagine. Well, anyway, so I'll tell you how this came to my attention. Well, my next door neighbor. Now, of course, I'm in a very spicy barrio, ghetto, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's nicer than a lot of ghettos, but I've got, Mexicans and Guatemalans and Chinese and etc. The whole guy. The guy next to me is actually Guatemalan. He likes his yard's kind of a jungle, but Anyway, we share a yard, a common yard of grass that kind of goes, it's like one big grass thing. It'd be great for a croquet game that goes in front of the two houses. But the nice thing about it is that from my camera's vantage point, I can see in that direction people coming from quite a long ways out my front door, across that yard and down the street, etc. Well, he tells the person who owns the house, he tells her that he's going to build a fence. Build a wall, block wall. She's like, huh? Block wall. Now, of course, bear in mind, this is actually retarded because we have a wooden fence between us. And so, I mean, we have a common fence, a common wall between our houses, yards it's wood. I put it up. The original was wood. It was old, decrepit, falling over, and I made a deal with him, and we split the cost and replaced it with another cedar, plank, wood, dog-eared cedar, whatever, fence. Now, of course, if you wanted to have a block wall, I come from Orange County. Everybody has block walls, but if you're going to have a block wall, that's when you would have done it. You'd say, someday I might want to get a block wall, like I have on the opposite side of my neighbor over there on the other side. But no. So, all right. So I know. Bear with me here. Bear with me. This is going somewhere. So basically, the wooden fence comes out to the edge of the side of the house where the gate is. We have a common gate, and there's like a 4x4, a big piece of treated wood, redwood type of thing that goes in the ground, and this is the end of the fence. Okay, so he wants to build a block wall and big cinder blocks. These are cement wall thing up to the wood. Now this is kind of retarded. It's just, it's kind of, sorry guys, but we don't do things like that where I come from. Anyway, so I kind of ignored it, but one morning it was about 6 a.m., which is a little early for me, or actually it's a little bit earlier than that. Big truck pulls up and starts dropping off all these blocks. All these supplies. Like, holy crap, it's like, first of all, you're not supposed to do that, during the week. You can't come until, let's see, what is it, 7 a.m., and on a weekend it's 8 a.m. That's code. Of course, I sleep much later than that, but either way, bear in mind, this is right outside my window. Now, I'm not too happy about this, but I'm thinking, I know it's going to happen. It's a Friday. And tomorrow morning, there's going to be a dozen, guys, locals, nationals, whatever you want to call them, and they're going to be banging out that brick wall. And by Sunday night, it's going to be done. In other words, code enforcement's never going to see it. They're going to be drive by one day, and the next day it's going to be done, and they're never going to see anything going on. I mean, like I said, that's not kosher, but that's what they do here in the ghetto. I call this the land of no permits. They throw up these block walls. Now, for me, that's kind of like, certain demographic thing. It's sort of a stereotype. It's like you got a car, you want to put rims on it, and it could be a piece of crap, but you want to put gold trim, this kind of a thing. It's like your ghetto house. The gold trim equivalent is the block wall, and what do they have? The wrought iron sections with the spikes and things. I mean, this is real ghetto stuff. It's like usually you go into a real high crime neighborhood, and everyone's going to have the block walls with the wrought iron fencing. Now, obviously, that has something to do with fear. Okay, that's a fear thing. You're afraid of crime, you're afraid of whatever, you're afraid of intruders, you're trying to put something between you and the street, like in case the FBI is trying to get you, you want to have them go through a fence first. Well, obviously none of that makes sense. It's stupid. But I thought, gosh, maybe he wants to put up a block wall because, we share the lawn and I've been known to walk on the grass and fertilize it or pull weeds. That's kind of a thing, you know. I mean, his weeds or my weeds, this kind of a thing. I want it to look nice and uniform. No, I asked him. I says, "Hey, do you mind if I pull your weeds?" He says, "No, no, no, Steven, go ahead. You want a Modelo?" You know, it's all good. But I think, you know, he's got his wife, his 2 or 3 daughters. They've got their boyfriends, and one or two of them have kids now. And they're all living in this house. It's a 3-bedroom little house, you know, 2-car garage. So I think what would happen was that the little girls see me outside the window. I mean, you know, it's a relatively small yard, screwing around with the weeds or whatever, and they're thinking, "Oh no, he's trying to steal my." I mean, I won't be crude, but so I thought, oh, that's probably what it is. And I thought, well, why don't you just be a man and tell me you don't want me on your grass because the girls in the house are concerned that this, you know, dirty old man outside pulling the weeds is trying to get a peek of their, you know, cha-chas or whatever. What do they call those things? Well, you know what I'm saying. Chi-chis. Anyway. Chonies. Yeah. Well, so then I find out, of course, I'm not paying attention to this. I find out from the person here, lives here. She goes down the street, starts talking to a couple of neighbors about the wall thing because she's, you know, she's snoopy. She goes and checks out all the bricks and what have you. Doesn't want to look suspicious, like, you know, who called the city? Oh, I should have mentioned that part. Well, anyway, the city came out. I called the city, and they came out, shut that thing down. They said, "Hey, wait a minute. Hey, where's your plans?" Yada yada yada. You know, like, so. Needless to say, they didn't get to bang that thing out. He had to run around with pieces of paper back and forth to try to get something approved. So, at the very least, now I know that this wall is going to be to code. They're going to have inspectors come out and make sure they do the footing properly and everything else. At least I got that going on. But like I said, it's a lost battle. But at the same time, she goes down snooping around the neighborhood to find out what's up. And the local crackhead down the street that the police used as an informant, who she still talks to, tells her that, yeah, the FBI has been going door to door asking questions about Steve and whatever. You know, you can just imagine, because I've already got a reputation on this street. You know, I'm kind of like, nobody screws with me. So you can just imagine. Well, so I'm kind of like, oh, great. It's not like I mean, first of all, it's like, really? You're going to go around here and you can tell the various vatos, etc., up and down my street that, hey, this guy's dangerous. He's trying to overthrow the government. He's this and that, treasonous, whatever. I'm sure they're not going to mention anything about the Getty or the 100,000 children I'm trying to save, or, you know, anything like that. But to me, this is like, they're trying to Bill Cooper me, or take your pick, Gary Webb, or our buddy Phil Schneider, one of those guys. They'd like to do that. We always known they'd like to do that. But again, they don't want to get close, but who knows? Who knows what they're prepared for. Now, so, like I said, so the wall's going in. There's a wall going in. I don't know how tall it's going to be. I don't know. Hopefully it's not going to be too tall. But the thing is, it's going to block my view. And not only is it going to block my view, but it's going to be about, say, 5 feet from the wall of my bedroom wall, my window. And it's going to be concrete. Now, bear in mind, like I said, I live in a little matchbox, and there's going to be a concrete wall out there. Now, so right away, if somebody wants to sneak up on me, not only are they going to be able to do it, but they've got a nice concrete wall, cinder block wall filled with concrete between me and them. Thinking if there's going to be a gunfight, all they got to do is build a house full of a bunch of holes. Now I'm thinking, what do I got to do? Put sandbags up all over the place? What the hell are these guys got planned? Well, you know, I don't believe in defending fixed fortifications. That's kind of like the Getty. The Getty is a fixed fortification. The government is a fixed fortification. All of this is a fixed fortification. There's no defending a fixed fortification, especially when you're dealing with guerrillas like us. So I'm not happy about this. Now, I'm already not happy about the wall for lots of reasons. I mean, you know, I like looking at the green grass. I don't want to see ghetto cinder blocks. I mean, I already went through this in the backyard where I moved in, and now that wall is completely covered with vines and creepy crawly things, and I don't see any cinder blocks. I look out the window, I just see flowers and greenery. I don't even see the ghetto house behind me. But now, when I look out my camera here, I'm going to see who knows what. Maybe they'll put stucco on it. That's kind of a big thing that they like to do. They'll put up a cinder block wall. I mean, trust me, they're ugly bricks, and then they'll put stucco on it, some colored thing like yellow, whatever. Either way, it's not my thing. And now I know it's probably not because they're afraid of me peeping in the windows. It's probably because they're afraid of bullets flying from the FBI and having a little shootout with me, allegedly. This is what they're probably telling the neighbors. You know, we just want to let you know. Just want you to know that scary guy down the street. Yeah. If you hear a lot of noise, we'll let you know if something is going to happen. Okay, just want to warn you. Oh, Poppy, build a wall. Oh my God, we're right next door to a crazy man. Oh, go Home Depot. Oh shit, put it in tomorrow. Oh, stop those bullets. Oh no, what do we do? Anyway, this is what I surmise. Now, of course, this kind of bothered me. A lot of things bother me. I mean, it's like, and I think to myself, well, is this anything that I didn't ask for? No, this is kind of what I asked for. But at the same time, this is pretty cheap because I know, hang on, I know how these pricks operate. I mean, my God. Excuse my French, but the motherfuckers won't make any effort to free those children. Any effort. They can't because they work for it. You know, do you realize, again, let me remind you, all those buildings have connections underground. You know, I was thinking about, I was driving through Anaheim years ago and looking at all the new stuff that they had, new buildings, improvements. And it reminded me of when the new city hall was built. They had to tear down all the old buildings and what have you in the old part of Anaheim. Now, Anaheim was one of the oldest cities in our area, right up there with, well, of course, L.A. was first, but in Orange County, it was Santa Ana, which is the county seat, and Anaheim, which was still, to this day, a really big city. So between those two cities, those are the biggest cities in Orange County. Of course, now there's Irvine. Well, either way, point is, like I said, I realized last night that even those old buildings, you know, they may not be here, but the tunnels that connected them are still there. That mafia crap, all that crap is still there. So, you know, it just reminded me, oh, yeah, Anaheim City Hall is connected to the undergrounds, just like the FBI building, just like the Getty, just like the Skirball, just like UCLA, USC, yada, 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 yada. The Puente High School, on and on and on and on and on. There are these tunnels everywhere. It's all hooked up. So, you know, the underground, the thing that we're trying to expose, the enemy that we're trying to expose, the lair of the enemy we're trying to expose, it's their backbone. It's the basis of their entire system. Everything that they do is done knowing that they have this place to retreat to. This is why we have the war crap. I want to talk about some war crap here in a little bit. They don't care. This is why your Lindsey Grahams and your guys are so hard up, got such a hard on trying to start World War III and nuclear war, because they know they got the bunkers. They know they got to go down there and everyone else is going to die and they're going to live like kings. Did I do my job? Did I do my job? Yes, Lindsey, you did your job. Go move your crap into your little condo and keep your mouth shut. We don't want to hear anything else from you now. These little, what do you want to call them? Anyway, well, before I get into that, I want to respond to this whole FBI thing really quick. You know, Renetta, you're saying, take it to the street, go to the street, go to the street. Of course, now I've been working on that for a long time, and I'm sorry I haven't got this sign working in the garage, the thing we're supposed to put on the car. But here's the thing, guys. I can't even get my cell phone working. I got a cell phone. I can't get my Twitter going because I can't get it's not my thing. I need one of you, Christian, to come over here and push the buttons for me. Come on, old man here. My brain's not ready to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm too busy doing other things. Do it for me. But the street thing, let's talk about some old school hitting the street, because I'll tell you, this needs to be done right now. And by the way, Jose, if you're listening, make some time. Plan on coming over here tomorrow. All right. I don't know when you plan on listening, if you're listening now or what, but you're not here now, obviously. But I got some work for you. And I need it to be early, okay? Early. All right? Either way. Okay, so what this is what's going to happen. I have to canvass the neighborhood now. I have to go door to door, and I have to put my Occupy the Getty brochure, the one, the full color picture that says lots of pictures of anguished children. It says 100,000 children under the Getty. Do you care? That's all it says in Occupy the Getty, of course. Kind of cryptic. If it's full color, people aren't going to just throw it away. They're going to look at there and go, wow, this cost us 10 cents to make. Gee, what's up with that? All right. If the FBI can go door to door and talk shit, it's time to go door to door and leave these pictures. So people need to know. It doesn't have to have my name on it, and I'm not gonna actually show my face, but this is what has to happen now. There's a lot of us that like to talk. We talk about web pages. We talk about can't do this, can't do that. But we live somewhere. Maybe people think you're crazy, but this is what you're going to do. You're going to make some brochures. You're going to make some handbills. In the old days, before they had printing presses, people got pieces of paper, which were expensive, and they would write messages, and they would duplicate these things by hand. Kind of like the way they wrote the Bible by hand way back when, before the printing press. But the point is this was mass communication. You're going to make stuff. I don't care if you get something, download it, print it out, and then go photocopy it. But take that. Get a bunch of them. When I say a bunch, 20, 10, a little bit, 100, whatever. And you, wherever you live, you get up in the wee hours when nobody's around, and you go door to door, and you put them somewhere on that door. Don't put them in the mailbox, because that's not legal. Do not put them in the mailbox. But you can put it near the mailbox, stuck into a nook or cranny of the mailbox, something against the wall, whatever. Find a creative way. Put it somewhere where they're going to get it. Put them all over the place. And I want people, when they find these things, they get up in the morning, whatever it is, they see these things, they go, what the heck? They start talking. They do a little research. They show it to their family. They go, hey, honey, you'll see this. What is this? Is this that museum? Check this out. Anyway, that's what I want you to do. Okay, so here's the thing. Seriously. No bullshit, all right? Come on. The FBI wants to WACO me. You get it? You get it? They're going to put a bunker up 4 or 5 feet away from me. They're close enough where they can stand there behind it and shoot a damn flashbang in my window. scare the shit out of my animals, maybe hurt them. Do you understand? All right? Even if they can't kill me, they can fuck up the house. Even if they come in the house dynamically, you know what they do? They leave the door open. You know what happens? The animals escape. They start fires. Flashbangs start fires. Yeah, that kind of a thing. Smoke. Smoke isn't good for little animals. Their lungs are small. It's like Grace here, the little bird. Her lungs are small. Hell, I don't even want anybody in the backyard under the patio making noise, disturbing the baby hummingbirds that are a day or two from flying away. I want them to sit there and get their wings as strong as possible before they finally flutter off. I don't want anything scaring anybody right now. I want everything nice and peaceful. That's the way I like it. But at the same time, I need some action. And I need to counter this activity. I mean, come on, people. These guys are getting paid to do this. They're getting paid to slander me with my neighbors, to scare people, to talk shit. Who knows what they're saying? All I know is the local crackhead stoolie, that means informant, says this is what's going on, and that's all I need to know. So it's time to counter it. So I need this done now. So that's your mission, people. And again, you know, Christian, you do it. You know what I'm talking about. You people out there, you know, that have these brochures, you know what to do. You put them here and there. But what I'm talking about right now is grassroots. That means front yard, grass, lawn, you know, like the one that's going to get ripped up when the guy puts the wall in. I want grassroots, walk on the lawn, go up to the porch, and stick one of our pieces of paper on that porch, where the homeowner and the occupants are going to find it. All right? This needs to happen. Again, I can't do it. I'm the one with a target on me. I can't be going door to door. People go, yeah, that crazy guy's here. Mama, don't talk to the crazy man. Okay, so I need you guys to do it for me. And I need it done tomorrow. I need it going on tomorrow. All right? That's what we're doing. Of course, I'm broadcasting. I'm telling the world what the plan is. But do it, okay? This is serious, all right? Don't just sit there and go, oh, it's okay. Nothing's going to happen. I'd like to see what's going to happen. I'd like to see him try it. No, They already fucked with me, okay? They fucked with my neighbors. It's time to make a little dent, even a small dent in the local scene, okay? They haven't seen this, so do it. Do it. You know, and then tell me how many doors you stuck stuff on, okay? Now, I'm not talking public places. Now, I'm talking your neighbor's doors. If you live on a street, whatever, an apartment complex, if it's an apartment complex, give one to every person in the complex. You don't have to do it. They don't need to see you doing it. You don't need to let them know who's doing it. I don't care. Up and down the entire street. Okay? At least tomorrow. This weekend. That's your job. Don't disappoint me. All right. Ooh, only 30 minutes into the show.
Could I help you with this?
I think what I want to do here. Since I'm going to be by myself tonight, and no dinners and stuff, I'm going to go straight into it. But I need to talk a little bit about the whole Russia thing and Ukraine, but I want to do it in a little broader sense. I mean, obviously, the stuff on the ground is exciting and what have you, the little mutiny. I could talk about that nonsense and the crap coming out of the West. It's so bad right now. Eventually, I'll be talking about Biden's retardation. But I've been studying World War II, and I've been doing some, let's say, simulations. They're running some simulations, some what ifs. A couple what ifs. Like, what if Hitler never attacked Russia? Or what if Russia dropped the communism and became a republic right away, 1942. If Stalin decided, we're going to become a republic, what if they had done that? Well, a couple things. There's a couple things that happen that don't change, and there's also a few things that seem to be certain. So the things that don't change are, for Germany or the Nazis to get to Russia, they've got to go through Ukraine. And for the Russians to get into Europe, to go after Berlin, to go into Germany, they also have to go through Ukraine. And right in the middle of that is Kiev, which is basically a big giant swamp. Yeah, north of Kiev is like a big swamp, and then that all feeds the water into some of the big rivers that go, whatever it is, the Dnieper, or whatever it is, that goes runs all the way down to the sea. Well, so that place has been a battleground. It's been a middle area, turf, whatever you want to call it, contested turf. And on one side has always been the Nazis or the Germans or the Poles or whoever, various different persuasions. And on the other side has always been the Russians. Now, we know they hate the Russians because here's the thing about Russia. And this applies to pre-Soviet Union, Soviet Union, and post-Soviet Union. And that is that the country is deep. It's the deepest country. It's the largest in landmass, but it's deep, 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 deep. It just goes back. It's filled with real estate and resources and raw material and all the stuff that you need to live, to build cities, to expand, raw materials, just like virgin real estate, just waiting to cut some trees down and build a city. It's nothing but. They have endless real estate. And because of these resources scattered all over the place, they have endless amounts of industry scattered about all over the place also. Of course, when you've got a wartime economy, imagine here they are, World War II. Here's these Nazis, and they've got a lot of tanks. And here's Kiev, and it's loosely defended with old, infantry and this kind of thing. No way it's going to be able to stand up to this. Well, Russia's got the ability to make endless amounts of tanks, but they're so big, they got to ship that stuff all over there. And, here's the thing. All Russia had to do, besides drop the communism, was build rails from all those factories to the front line. And once they could do that, they could deliver more tanks than the Nazis could ever keep up with. Now, the same is true today, at least as far as the West is concerned. So like I said, if the Nazis had never turned on Stalin, if they had basically never attacked, there was no Operation Barbarossa, they could have defeated England. They could have taken over everything. They could have taken over all of Turkey. They could have taken over whatever. They would have owned the Mediterranean. They would have defeated the Allies. Probably so much so that they would have been able to conquer the USA. And that's pretty certain. And all they had to do was just not have an Eastern Front and devote their research and manpower to that one target and take advantage of the numerical superiority that they had before these countries could harness their industrial might, like the United States did and like Russia did. And the other thing, of course, is that if, like I said, if if Russia had become a republic, if they had dropped the communism, stopped being socialist, they would have been able to maximize their efficiency, remove their corruption, and they would have been able to roll industrial might across Europe, spilling over the channel and into England. There would have been nothing holding them back. And see, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. The Tsar was a backwards country, but during the time of the Tsar, they had everything it needed to build up their infrastructure, to build those factories, to expand into the great, vast, rich real estate of a nation that they had, build those cities and grow those tax bases and build those manufacturing bases. Nothing could have possibly stopped them. Kind of like today. Well, so what happened? Well, we cooked up that scheme basically to send in Karl Marx, kind of like when we sent Ayatollah into Iran, to screw them up. Germans did that. They go, we'll send that Karl Marx asshole in there to screw them up, to tear down the Tsar, to destroy it. You know, protocols, the learned elders of Zion, it's all over it. That was a big thing that they had to do. They had to kill off the Tsar, they had to get rid of their monarchy, and they had to take control of the Russian Empire. So they did. And they saddled it with an inefficient Marxist ideology that kept it backwards, unable to root out the corruption and unable to efficiently expand in a capitalist type of manner like the West. Well, they gave up Crimea. They let Ukraine become sovereign. What else did they do? Well, that went away because along comes Ronald Reagan, you know, that guy that basically, oh, that was Nixon, the one that built China. Well, Reagan helped. Reagan basically, what did he do? He said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Well, that was the end of the Cold War. And everybody thought, whoa, it's a new day. The satellites are being free. The Jews are able to leave the country now and go to wherever they want. You mean the Chabad Mafia? Yeah, that's what happened. The Chabad Mafia went over. What else did they do? They took what was left of the Soviet Union. They got in there with their, minions. And they gutted the country, and they had a fire sale, and they bought all the resources, the infrastructure for pennies on the dollar, or shall we say, I don't know, I can't remember what the change is. And for kopecks on the ruble. Yes, for kopecks on the ruble. That's it. Either way, kind of like they did in England when the Rothschilds short sold the country after Waterloo. Well, that's what they did. And what happened? We got 1,000 billionaires. Each one of them, Chabad Jew. Yet Russian. And they ran Ukraine. They ran the mafia. They took over the world. That was back in the 90s when we had all these booms in New York and Trump. Trump had all that real estate going on because, mafia. Real estate booms and casinos and hotels going up in Las Vegas. That was, again, mafia. Steve Wynn and the other guy, Adelson, Jews, Chabad, mafia. Trump was right in the middle of all that. Anyway, point is that was a choice that they made. They gutted the country. They thought the country would be dead meat. They thought it would be easy to dissect it at this point, and the neocons could go in there and destroy it like they've been wanting to since forever. And then what happened? The country becomes democratic. The country gets some sort of a parliamentary Republican system going on. Next thing you know, they're voting, they're rooting out the corruption. Of course, the mafia is running amok, and even Putin made the Chabad the largest branch of Judaism in Russia, which means that he held hands with the mafia. But you know what? That has all changed. So he made a deal with the devil in order to get his country back so that they could recover their industrial base, their economy, control of their debt, the minds of the people, the morale of the people, their religion, their spiritual identity. He brought all that back. He coddled the mafia because what did they care? They were atheists. They didn't give a damn about religion. But you know what? He made a deal. He said, okay, your Judaism and your Chabad thing that you do, you can flourish. But guess what else is going to flourish? Orthodox Christianity is going to flourish. There's no looking back now. Well, you know, here we are today. Putin's at war with Ukraine. Chabad's going, holy crap. That's our country that he's destroying, but we live in Russia. We can't say shit because we'll have our stuff confiscated and thrown in jail. And then the Americans in the West, what do? They're going to the Chabad mafia and they're confiscating their money and going, oligarchs, we're going to confiscate this yacht. We're going to freeze these assets. They're going, holy crap. Putin's going, oh. So, you know, so basically what happened was, sure, they killed off the Tsar. They saddled the country with some communist crap. But in the desire for money and power and greed, they allowed the country to rise from the ashes of its destruction and become a democracy. Powerful one now. And I got to think that these oligarchs are going, oh shit. Because, you know, the West can't keep up with it. Do you realize that NATO, or not NATO, but Russia, when it comes to just one thing, like, say, shells for a howitzer, they produce more per annum than all of NATO combined. That's the United States, Canada, Germany, all of those European countries and Eastern European countries, all those countries together with all their industrial power can't keep up with this one country. And that applies to everything now. It's just the way it is. I know they're lacking on air power, but you know, everything else, don't believe what they say on TV. They're killing it. Well, I didn't really want to dwell on that too much, but the point is that, like I said, the way it's going right now, the way Russia is beefing up its production, its tank production, and the way it's able to deliver now its production from the far corners of its country to a front, like they're doing right now, it's not just impressive. It's something that we should all be very concerned about, because once that process has started, once those factories have gone online and start to churn out that product, and that product is starting to move its way to the front towards Europe. Europe is a tiny, tiny place compared to Russia. So once all that product starts moving to the doorstep of Europe, the reality is just like they used to tell you guys and all of us in the cold during the bleakest days of the Cold War. It's going to be a wall of tanks rolling in from the east. That's exactly what it's going to be. And we're setting it up. We're setting it up right now. Because like I said, Russia can't get there unless they go through Ukraine. And Ukraine was a buffer. But no. You went and fucked that up, militarized it, and started attacking Russia. So now Russia's going to move in the other direction, just like they did in World War II. They're going to conquer that territory. And you know what? You guys all forget what they did before. There's a reason why they had all those satellite countries. It's because they all got conquered. They were all filled with Nazis, just like they are today. So it's coming. And you know, again, this could all be done without nukes. Sure, stealth bombers, whatever, all that. But the point is the United States, the Allies, the West, we can't do this without nukes. That's all we got. But they do too. And they have more. And they're stronger. And they've got better delivery systems. And they've got territory that's ridiculously large to hide that stuff in. And we're never going to be able to keep up with that. So we're on a bad path, and history does repeat itself, and nobody pays attention. It's really concerning. Eastern Europe, you're just little blockages, little hurdles between the rest of the West, Europe, France, Germany, Italy, those areas. Anyway, that's really what I wanted to say. I guess I'm not going to take a break, but again, I just want to remind you that I don't have any interest or expectation that I'll be joining Phil or Gary or Bill anytime soon. But we know how these guys operate, and there's all kinds of things I just don't need. I don't need all the computers taken. I don't need them trashing the house looking for stuff. I don't need them traumatizing the animals and causing escapages and worse. I don't need them coming in here and shooting my dog. They do shit like that. They're evil. These are people that protect baby eaters. So, again, as Christian says, we're not fucking around. And I love how you guys say, hey, Stephen, get out in the street. But yeah, okay, right. Remember, yeah, okay, what happened to Bill Cooper when he went out his door? They shot him, okay? That's why I have a metal door between me and them, so they can't say, crazy man, shoot him. He's being aggressive. Anyway. So you guys, again, rally call. Do it now, all right? Do it. If you can't do it, hire somebody to do it for you, okay? Get a little whatever. Get a guy with a little whatever. Just do it, all right? Grow some balls and do it, okay? Talk is cheap. I want pictures. I want to know about it. I want reports, all right? Jose, come see me tomorrow. If you guys want to help me out and donate, I haven't even got my Social Security check. It's the end. I'm supposed to get the third week of the month. It's the 29th today. I'm thinking, who knows what? There's some delay. I'm thinking, well, they probably somebody caught up with them and said, no, don't be sending this guy any money. Are you kidding me? Not this guy. He hates America. So there's that. So yes, because of that, I got to remind people, yes, we still do need your support. You have to use the PayPal, and you got to say friends or family. You got to find that little click, or I can't take it. I got to send it back. And the PayPal is StephenKelley714@yahoo.com. That's StevенKelley 714@yahoo.com. And if you want to book me for a show, call to get a copy of the book, call to ask me questions, whatever, call for healing. Yeah, we do miracles. If you need that, please send me an email to law17gun@aol.com. That's LAW17GUN@aol.com. Don't mix those two things up. All correspondence has to go to Law 17 Gun. If you haven't joined a Telegram group, Do it. That's where we're at. I'm looking at it. We're 4,661 members, even with that whole Lewis nonsense. Sure, we got a few people, but, you know, come on. 35,000 people follow him, and what do we get? 102 or less? 50? I don't know. But why in the hell don't I have 35,000, 20,000, 100,000 people on my Telegram page? Is it because, I don't know, I'm being censored? Well, if that's the case, then go out door to door and tell your neighbors. Don't tell your neighbors. Put a piece of paper on their doorstep, okay? That's your job, okay? It's very simple. And then don't worry about talking to anybody. You can talk to them later, but start out with a little handbill. And I don't care if you got to draw it with a felt pen and a piece of paper. Just go make it, all right? That's your job. I hope you join me next week. How's my sound? Is it okay? Yeah, it looks okay. I hope you are here next week. I hope I see you in the Telegram group. And again, the Telegram group is Occupy the Getty / Stephen D. Kelley. That's right. Occupy the Getty / Stephen D. Kelley. Is that right? Official Occupy the Getty page. Yep. Occupy the Getty / Stephen D. Kelley. All right. Again, you guys, no excuse. If you're listening to me and you haven't joined this Telegram group, what the hell's going on? That's like saying if you're in the Telegram group and you're not listening to me, what the hell is going on? All right? If you are listening to me, do what I ask, please. Okay? This is serious. I don't want to, my God, something happens, it's going to be too late. All right? So grow a pair, help me out. The time is now. All righty? Oh, once again, my name is Stephen Kelley, and this is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. We are TruthCat Radio, www.truthcatradio.com. I hope I see you guys next week, okay? And if you share this video, or, obviously, if it's up wherever it is, you find it, share it, like it, whatever. Start your own page, share it on your own page. Spam, spam, spam. Get out there. Don't get discouraged. Work harder, okay? You only got me here for so long, so do it, do it, do it. All right? Okay. Good night. God bless. Adios. And goodbye.